So now we're gonna take these off of this cover, which reveals the magneto on the inside. And so over here, you have these O-rings that are on a grommet. And so what we're doing right now is we're taking apart the left crankcase slash the alternator. So right now we have part number 3, which is the alternator cover, which is this guy. And then over here, we have our cross screws. These are M6 by 18 millimeters. When measuring these out, a lot of times people will measure them from the bottom of the head. But since this is kind of in a cone, you measure it from the little line over here and you measure downward. So you have 3 of these. You have these M6 O-rings, which are 5.5 by 1.5, and I'm just gonna keep this on. These don't come with the O-rings though, but these are some fresh ones. And then over here, you have part numero uno, which is the cover of the crankcase. And then over here, you have part number 4, which is the gasket to the alternator. Ooh, keep in mind, this longer one goes right over here. Any other takers? This slightly longer piece goes down here. And then, ooh, this longer piece goes in there. And then this longer piece goes in here. Let's find out what each of these are. So a lot of the perimeter pieces, they're gonna be M6 1.0 by 24 millimeters. And when in this hole would be a M6 1.0 by 43 millimeters. So over here in this corner would be a M6 by 40, and then there was one other in here, I believe, which would also be an M6 by 40. And then there was one more down here, I think that would also be M6 by 36. The number for this hole over here would be 19. Here we go, left crankcase cover. And can we just whack it with a hammer? Ooh, pretty stuck on here. And as I learned in the Subtrans cover video, which you should watch, a lot of these have knocker pins in it. And so you have your one knocker pin over here, and then are there any other knocker pins? You have one down here. And so now that we have a better visual, this would be number 4. Right there would be part number 14, which is a oil seal. Same with this part up in here, but we have to go back in time. So when we go back to our sub-transmission video, we have part number 15, which is your oil seal that you see right here. You get a little better view of the clips from the last video. That's the other side of what the oil seal would look like. And then over here is where you would have part number 3, which is your sprocket drive. So we're gonna take that off. And then in order to do the remainder of this is where the other content creator flips over the thing. One of the things that I learned the hard way when I tore into this motor last year was the engine oil is actually the mechanism that partially cools down the magneto down in here. Going back, this would be part number 20, which would be 8 millimeter in diameter by 12 millimeter long knocker pin. Over here, number 12, you have your contact assembly, and it looks like it comes in 2 pieces, which is this weird circular C shape that's just attached to that. And then you have your contact point down here as well, which is covered by the gasket, which it looks like somebody actually probably welded apart here. We'll have to see. Before we tear this guy apart, we have to go once again back in time to take off the right crankcase cover slash clutch lifter. So at this top here, which would be right there, looks like it's 17. This would be an M6 by 20, part number 17. This would also be another M6 by 20. M6 by 20. So down here in this corner, looks like this is part number 18. It'll be an M6 by 40. Another M6 by 20. Another M6 by 20. Oh, wait. Before we do that, so down in this corner, this looks like another 18 part. This just goes all the way through in here. So we have a M6 by another 40. And then over here, this is your right crankcase, still all lubed up. And so in here, this is part number 3, which is the relatively good gasket. You have number 4, which is the oil lever gauge. And then over here, this is also kind of a unique design because on the other one, there's a cover plate that goes to this, but we're not seeing it. So we have number 19, which is this 8mm hex nut. You have part number 13. So 13 is this little bowl disc over here, and then 15 is this O-ring that looks like it could be somewhere in there or under there, but it looks like whoever repaired it just used a regular washer. Down in here, you have part number 9 and part number 8, which would be the clutch bolt, clutch plate that goes up in here as well. And so all of these are in perfect harmony, so I'm not gonna take them out or anything. I've already made that mistake once, which is why we're doing this whole video in the first place. Then over here would be number 14, which is a oil seal 14 by 26 by 7. So I'm gonna take a pause over here for this step in the video. I'll see you in the next video.